Hey, how's everybody doing? And welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's had a great few days. Had kind of a busy weekend, so I wasn't able to upload and come back Friday like I had planned on. Just wanted to get back out here and get a couple of things done. I did get my oil analysis back. If you remember right, when I did my valve springs, I dropped that keeper down inside, I think it was cylinder 5. Well, not inside cylinder 5, but down through one of the bores where the push rods are. And I'm pretty certain that fell clear down to the oil pan. I've been running it for probably about 2,000 miles with no issues. And also I did change the oil and nothing come out. So, and there's a lip. I mean, I can take my pinky and go up and inside the oil pan, but there's a lip in there, so if it was actually going to come out, it really wouldn't come out unless you would take a magnet and draw across and get it to go up and over where your plug actually goes in. So I did get my oil analysis back. I've only ran it about 2,000 miles. I did not change my filter at that point in time, and everything looks good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and put a new filter on and get that swapped out, run it for probably another 2,000 to 3,000 miles, and just go ahead and change it out then. I mean, why spend another 75 bucks on oil when the oil analysis is coming back good? I'm just going to change filter and not worry about it for probably another 2,000 to 3,000 miles, and then get everything switched out at that point in time. So, I mean, as you guys know, oil is not cheap. But you know, rebuilding an engine is not cheap either. So everything came back good, no wear metals. So you know, within reason, you know, there's no, obviously there's going to be wear in the oil, but there's no excessive wear, I guess is what I was looking for. So right now I'm going to get that oil filter swapped out, top off the oil because I still have oil left. I have about a half a gallon left, and go from there. And then also, I think that return is leaking again back there. There's some oil, or not oil, but it looks like maybe there's some fuel down there on the trans adapter plate. So I'm going to check the return plug in the back of the head. I'm sorry, the banjo plug, or the banjo bolt in the back of the head for the excessive fuel delivery line that tees in, that goes back to the tank. What that is you have a return that comes out of your VP right there. If you can see that big banjo bolt right there next to the feed right there. You have a return from the VP that goes back and then tees into the excess fuel from the lifters. Oh my goodness, from the injectors in the back of the head. Those tee together and then go on back to your fuel tank. So I've had, that was loose once before. I was having an issue with a hard start, and hard start, I mean, it was cranking for an extended period of time. Usually my truck, I get in it, I turn the key, and within, I don't know, 2 cranks, my truck is running. So it was having to crank just a little bit longer than usual, and what was actually happening, it was losing, my goodness, I can't talk tonight. What was actually happening is I was losing prime within my fuel system. So I went back here, I tightened up that banjo bolt, and all is well. I'm not having a hard start issue, so I don't know if maybe my valve cover gasket is getting bad. You know, I've had this valve cover off, as you guys know, several times. Whoops, lose my light. I've had this valve cover off several times, and I have never changed the gasket. So I probably will need to do that. It could be just oil leaking back there too, and it just looks like fuel. There's so much dirt and debris and grease on these engines. If oil leaks or if diesel fuel leaks, it all kind of mixes together and you really can't tell what it is. So I think when I do my spring tear down, I'm still planning on doing that, you know, doing some work to the front of the engine here. I want to try and do some other stuff too. I've got a nice oil leak up front on the timing case cover. I don't think it's the timing case where it bolts the engine. I think it's the cover. And then we can also check and see, you know, I don't even know if the pin's been done on this. I don't think there was an issue on the later 24 valves, but I know that there was a known issue with the 12 valve as far as the KDP pin, the killer dowel pin. I'm not versed enough to know if there was any issue in the later 24 valves, because this is the last year for this body style as far as my truck, but I don't know if they had that issue addressed and figured out. So the timing case has been off before, I do know that, but just because I can see all the silicone goop up around it. They use silicone to seal it instead of a gasket. So you know, I'm certain that it's been apart before. Whether they did do the pin, I'm not certain, but you know, we'll check that out while we have it apart. And then also the front main seal, when I did the harmonic balancer, the fluid balancer, I did not change that seal because there was just no room to get it pulled. So I'm gonna have all of this stuff apart and out of my way, and at that point in time I'll address all those issues as far as the gasket, the seal, and then that should be good to go. I mean, I'm still working on the whole valve cover issue scenario thing and getting rid of the puke tube and the front crankcase vent. I'm trying to source a different valve cover. I know what I want to do, but it's just getting everything built, getting everything made is taking me a lot longer than what I had anticipated. And I don't know, it's taken a while, and I don't really like the fact that it's taking me so long, but I want to get some more things powder coated and kind of go from there. Got more work to do on the caddy. The bed is full of all kinds of parts, right up and through here, timing belt, brakes, all kinds of stuff, bearings for the rear. I've got some other parts coming, got more parts up on top of the cab. The bed of the caddy is becoming a catch-all, I tell you that. And I still have not figured out why I don't have power to my blower motor either. It's been kind of cold. As you know, that's my only heat source. Right there is that little 18,000 watt BTU heater. So it gets pretty cold pretty quick out here in the garage, especially when I have the door open because my truck doesn't fit in the garage. Today it's about 40 degrees, so we're blessed with this a little bit warmer weather. Anyway, nothing babbling, rambling, and what did the one guy? I had a comment on here. He said, less jibber jabber, more work. Well, if you don't like the jibber jabber, then maybe you shouldn't be watching. That was a while back. I just saw the comment come through on one of my previous videos, but I found it kind of comical. Anyway, let's get this filter on there, get that swapped out, and get everything topped off with oil. Well, that's all done. Banjo bolt is tight. I use an 11/16. I think it might be a 17 millimeter, but 11/16 fits it also. Not sure what the conversion is. I don't have a 17 millimeter wrench, and my 11/16 fits, so that's what I use. Anyway, I like and also I run the K&N oil filters. I like them. I've used them on a lot of my vehicles for a while. I'm waiting on Hot Shots to develop their own oil filter besides the oil filter bypass they have. They have a Franz oil bypass, and I just haven't put one of those on my truck, so I'm waiting on them guys. I hope they come out with an oil filter soon. They are introducing new products day after day, month after month. Check them out if you have not already done so. First link in the description is always Hot Shots. Head on over there, see what they have, and you will be surprised on everything that they do have. So another thing I do like about the K&Ns is they come with a service tag, so I can write my date on it, my current oil change, and then my next oil change. So And of course, I screwed up. I wanted to change it at 216, and I started writing that up there. But I currently have 213 365, and I will change it at 216 and send in another oil analysis and see how everything looks. I'm certain everything will probably look good again, but we'll see how things go. I probably will be doing spring teardown before that even happens. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have. Hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so. We are getting ever so close to that 1,000 subscriber. Sorry, I do apologize. That 1,000 family member mark, and it's been an exciting ride, and I'm not planning on going anyplace. So tell your buddies, share the channel, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll talk to you later on. Bye-bye.